Henley broke the silence. "You will follow the rules," he said, his voice deep and commanding. "Do not question, do not resist." I stared at him, my body trembling. "Please," I whispered, my voice barely audible. "I'm a human being." He didn't even blink. "You are what we say you are." My stomach twisted into knots. What kind of place was I being taken to? Eventually we arrived at a massive mansion, its golden gates swinging open automatically as we approached. The place was breathtaking, more luxurious than anything I had ever seen. But instead of admiration, all I felt was dread. As the car rolled to a stop, 2 guards stepped forward and pulled me out before I could even process what was happening. They led me through a grand hallway, my bare feet sinking into the plush carpet. Everything smelled expensive. Fresh flowers, polished wood, wealth. And then I saw him. Sitting on a velvet cushion in the center of the massive living room was the dog. A huge, white-furred beast with piercing blue eyes. It looked well-groomed, its collar encrusted with diamonds. It exuded an eerie sense of power, as if it knew exactly what was happening. The man who had brought me here walked forward and bowed slightly before the dog. "Master, your bride has arrived." I felt the world spin beneath me. Bride? To this? Animal? Before I could scream, someone grabbed me from behind, their grip like iron. A cloth was pressed over my mouth, and the sharp scent of chemicals filled my nose. Darkness swallowed me whole. The man who had brought me here walked forward and bowed slightly before the dog. "Master, your bride has arrived." I felt the world spin beneath me. Bride? To this? Animal? Before I could scream, someone grabbed me from behind, their grip like iron. A cloth was pressed over my mouth, and the sharp scent of chemicals filled my nose. Darkness swallowed me whole. When I woke up, my head was pounding and my body felt heavy. My arms and legs were free, but the softness beneath me told me I was lying on a luxurious bed. The air smelled of roses and something expensive, perfume or maybe... I sat up too quickly, dizziness washing over me. My vision blurred for a moment before clearing, revealing an enormous bedroom. The walls were lined with gold-trimmed mirrors, the ceiling high and decorated with a chandelier that shimmered like stars. But none of that mattered, because at the foot of the bed, staring at me with those chilling blue eyes, was the dog. I scrambled back, pressing myself against the headboard. My heart slammed against my ribs as fear gripped me. The dog didn't move. It just watched me, its gaze unsettlingly intelligent, almost human. The door creaked open, and a woman in a maid's uniform stepped in. She looked young, maybe in her early 20s, with sharp features and a cold expression. She carried a tray of food and set it on the bedside table. "You will eat," she said, her tone flat. I shook my head. "I want to go home." She scoffed. "You no longer have a home." Tears welled in my eyes, but I blinked them back. "Please," I whispered, "this isn't right." The maid's expression didn't change. "Eat," she repeated. "The master dislikes weakness." "The master?" I glanced at the dog. My stomach turned. "Who is the master?" I asked, my voice shaking. The maid smirked but didn't answer. Instead, she turned on her heel and walked out, locking the door behind her. I was trapped. I looked back at the dog, my skin crawling. My entire body trembled as I whispered the question I was most afraid to ask. What do they want from me? And to my horror, the dog smiled. I froze. My breath hitched in my throat as I watched the dog's lips pull back in a way that was disturbingly human. My skin prickled with fear. Dogs don't smile. I forced myself to look away, my mind racing. Maybe I was imagining things. Maybe the fear and exhaustion were making me see things that weren't real. I needed to get out of here. Slowly, I slid off the bed,